So this is in the Sarangpur category Vachanamrut. But it is not in Sarangpur. It is in Khambda. And this is on the Shravanvadi 14th. The day before, on Shravanvadi 13th, Swaminarayan Bhagavan was in Kundad, which was in between. The Sarangpur is on the west side, then comes Khambda, then comes Kundad. So Bhagavan had gone on the day before from Sarangpur to Kundad. To the devotees in Kundad, they wanted to have Swaminarayan Bhagavan come at their place. So I think between Sarangpur and Kundad is like 10 miles distance, and Khambda is in between. So Bhagavan went day before from Sarangpur to Kundad, stayed there, then came back, and in the middle there he was sitting outside, and some devotees had come from Khambda to Kundad, and when they heard that Swaminarayan Bhagavan is going back, then that devotee gathered other people and had this Vachanamrut, in Khambda, That's how this Vachanamrut was written. So normally, the other Vachanamrut, like, Karyani, Loya, Panchada, most of those Vachanamruts are there, Swaminarayan Bhagavan is there, But here in Sarangpur, Bhagavan has travelled to Kundad, so Vachanamrut 9 is Kundad Vachanamrut, even though it says Sarangpur. Vachanamrut 10 is Khambda Vachanamrut, even though it says Sarangpur, So, Swaminarayan Bhagavan, and their Kundad is very famous now, with that Swami, Janjivandas Swami. He is doing lot of videos and activities, and very nice work, We have been to Kundad many times. So, this is the month of Shravan, So, it's a monsoon season, And during that time, the weather may be, okay to not to have rain, and Bhagavan was there, So Swaminarayan Bhagavan walked with all of the sadhus from Kundad, and along the way arrived Khambda. There they settled themselves under a peepal tree. The people of the village then brought a decorated cot and had Sriji Maharaj sit upon it. He was dressed entirely in white clothes. At that time, sadhus as well as devotees from various places gathered around him in an assembly while other sadhus were singing devotional songs. So even other than Gadada, Swaminarayan Bhagavan was preferring white clothes, wherever he would travel, he would have white clothes, Except in Vadtal, if you read Vadtal Vachanamrut, there Bhagavan was putting very nice clothes and all this, decorative, all garlands and other things, But very rarely we have seen picture of Swaminarayan Bhagavan in white clothes, and giving the discourses or having darshan, Right, but in the mandirs and other places, Black and white would have white, naturally, right? It would be decorative, but it would be white or black. Of that, yeah.
No, he's sitting with his legs down, right?
Oh, on the chair, you mean? Okay, there is another picture on the chair. Yeah. But then there are disputes of that picture, Even the picture of this picture, there is dispute also. So this picture that is black and white, which says Sir John Malcolm at the bottom, and then there are people they are disputing, that there were no cameras during the time of Sir John Malcolm that picture was taken. So they say that there is another picture taken of another person claiming himself as Swaminarayan Bhagavan in the Bhuj area, Kutch area, and that picture is that picture. So, again it's a dispute. So we don't know which one is the correct picture. But those who dispute that, they claim that the real worship of the idol of Swaminarayan Bhagavan should be either from Vadtal Mandir, Hari Krishna Maharaj, which was made to his copy, or of Gadada, which is the Gopinathji Maharaj. But that Gopinathji Maharaj is a murti of Krishna Bhagavan. That whoever had, made the murti of Swaminarayan Bhagavan in the form of Krishna Bhagavan with flute, on his hand. And that murti is of Swaminarayan Bhagavan, So those are the two, they say, are more authentic, It's not picture, it's the murti, idol. Those were the two idols, that they were copy of Swaminarayan Bhagavan. In Gadada. In Gadada, the middle, main murti, there is Lord Krishna with the gopi. That Lord Krishna's murti, they say, is of Swaminarayan Bhagavan. But then there is a murti of Hari Krishna Maharaj added to that, next to, Krishna and Radha, the murti of Swaminarayan Bhagavan himself, Hari Krishna Maharaj. So there are three murtis in the middle of Gadada. But they say that the real murti is Gopinathji Maharaj. If you see the hands, the feet, the shape of body, which was very similar to Swaminarayan Bhagavan. That's what, some of those people are, trying to claim, that is the real murti to, accept. But this murti, they have, some of the people have, questions, that whether it is real, original Swaminarayan Bhagavan murti, or the other person who became, well known as, Swaminarayan Bhagavan, after Swaminarayan Bhagavan's passing away, Then there is a whole group which follows, that roadway also, And he had made Vachanamrut also, that other person, I think. So, and they say that Swaminarayan Bhagavan's real life was shortened by some years, 14 or 15 years, that he was supposed to live, or maybe more, that he came back in that form, Those devotees claim that way, of, that second Swaminarayan Bhagavan, So there is a little, unclear thing there, But I think this way, that whatever murti our master has initiated and has done the ceremony, then that murti becomes the worshipping murti, And, it can be from wood, it can be from the stone, it can be from the picture, but it has that power, So what Kakaji did in Waukegan, established that murti and put the, his prayer and power, that is the power of that murti, which is very, effective, very special. But anyhow, that's the sidetrack, So, on this day, Swaminarayan Bhagavan came to this village Khambada, and Sriji Maharaj then asked the sadhus to stop singing and address the village folks. Those sadhus, they were singing the bhajan. So then Swaminarayan Bhagavan, when he wanted to address this village folk, he told sadhus to stop the singing. And then Swaminarayan Bhagavan says, in this world there are two types of people. Those who follow the path of righteousness and those who follow the path of unrighteousness. So there is two categories. There are some God devotees, God loving people, and there are some who do wrongdoing and don't believe in God, Then Bhagavan says, of these, one who follows the path of righteousness forsakes stealing, adultery, slander, and other forms of sin. So those who are the righteous people, they don't do the wrongdoing, People doing wrongdoing is also for their basic needs, Food and bad habits, and good habits, also, I mean, there are thieves, they donate also. So there are good habits also, But it is done from the wrong way, So they are not righteous, So they give up the righteousness and do the stealing, adultery, slander, and all other forms of sins, which are described in the scriptures, Fearing God, such a person remains within the discipline of dharma. Now, here Bhagavan is using the word fearing, And this is for those who are from the town. They have no connection and touch and contact with the God, but they have the indirect association of God or the sadhus or the scriptures, and have learned that doing wrong thing is bad, and that could take them to hell. They should not do that, So this is the fearing factor, Fear factor, is a common factor for the semi-educated or uneducated people who normally will accept the righteousness, Then there are God-loving people, that out of love, they would not do wrongdoing, They would just think that I want to please my God, and only way I want to please is I want to do what He wants me to do, And with that, they would not do wrongdoing, So there are God-loving and God-fearing people. Both are good, But there is a category within this subcategory, of righteous and non-righteous, So in righteous group, Bhagavan is talking about the God-fearing people, they saying that they stay away from all these wrongdoings, So such person remains within the discipline of dharma. And dharma is the one we do physically, we act physically, which is dharma, Any actions we do physically, it is categorized as a dharma, And when we do physically, then it goes into inner side, our inner self, And then we become more pure, And then the next level from the within ourself, in our subtle body, then it goes into our subconscious self, And then even in subconscious, whatever our negative programs are, they get eradicated, and we live, very pure life in all three modes of our state, And then what happens is that in subconscious level, when that thought is going, we would have even no negative dreams, or no negative, subconscious, programs, So some people, they would never have bad dreams, They would not have any fearful dreams or any bad dreams, That maybe is because, they have embedded the physical purity, the then subconscious purity, and then the, dream level or, the third level of, consciousness quality, So, here Bhagavan is talking that as a result, everyone in the world trusts him because that person is living according to the dharma and everybody is trusting him, and be it a member of his family or anyone else, and whatever he says is accepted by all as the truth. So, Bhagavan is saying that those people who are good virtue people, other people in the town will trust them also, They would call them, Bhagat, or they would call them, a respected person and things like that, And then Bhagavan says, only such a person who observes dharma likes the company of a true sadhu. So now Bhagavan is elevating the understanding, saying that those kind of people who are virtuous people, they would always want to have the company of a sadhu. So Bhagavan is bringing the level of sadhu to every action, a devotee should do and come in the touch with the elevated sadhu, And there was a one nice video that I just forwarded, about some interview was taken by in India of some sadhu, And one lady was asking, that why do we have to, follow Guru, Right. So that sadhu was saying that, do you have a GPS? So that lady who was taking interview says, yeah, I have GPS. So he says that when you are going on the roadway and that GPS has a feminist voice, woman voice, and says make a left turn, and you make a left turn. It says make a right turn, and if you don't make a right turn, if you make a left turn, then it guides you back, and puts you back right on the roadway. And that sadhu was saying, is that true? And she said, yeah. So then he says that when you don't know the roadway, when you don't know the destination, you trust this GPS. Even in this world, if you don't know the roadway and you trust GPS, you don't know that lady's voice, but you trust. And you make a left turn when it says to make a left turn, Whether it is right or not, but you do it, right? So he says that same way, the roadway to the gods, abode is also not clear to us. That's why we need some GPS, And the Guru is our GPS, And then he says GPS means God Positioning System. GPS. So the GPS will position to, where you want to go, So it was very interesting, a small 1 minute, 2 minutes clip, but I had forwarded, to people today. But here, Bhagavan is saying that first, righteous and non-righteous people. Out of righteous, they do good thing, and then they join with the saint. And then the saint will take them to God. That's how the process, happens in a normal way. So then Bhagavan says, on the other hand, a person who follows the path of unrighteousness is engrossed in evil deeds, such as stealing, adultery, eating meat, drinking alcohol, and degrading others or oneself. As a result, no one in the world ever trusts him. People will be not trusting that person. In fact, even his own relatives do not trust him. Such an unrighteous person never likes the company of a true sadhu. He would not want to come in the company of a true sadhu. In fact, if someone else were to keep the company of such a sadhu, the unrighteous person would spite him too. There is one more step that unrighteous person would do, that another person who is keeping company of a sadhu, he would be mad at that person, and try to drag him, in the wrong direction. Now, there are other exceptions, also, that these kind of unrighteous people, when they come in the company of a sadhu and they trust the sadhu, then they change also, Like Valmiki Rishi was the example, Or in time of Swaminarayan Bhagavan, that Veshya of Jetalpur, or that Vartal Joban Vartalo, they came in touch with Swaminarayan Bhagavan or Naradji and others, and then they trusted, and then they changed, So there is exception also, but Bhagavan is saying in general, this kind of unrighteous people do wrongdoing and misguide the people, Therefore, one aspires to attain liberation should not follow the path of unrighteousness. So that is the conclusion Bhagavan is saying, that one who wants to go on the path of liberation should not follow the path of unrighteousness. Instead, one should follow the path of righteousness and keep the company of a true sadhu. As a result, one should certainly, without a doubt, attain liberation. And by doing that, the path of liberation would be easy and simple, otherwise which is very difficult, going in circle and circle. So, Swaminarayan Bhagavan, when he said that, a lot of devotees from the town Khambada became the followers. They became followers of Swaminarayan Bhagavan, and they accepted Swaminarayan Bhagavan as God. Hearing this discourse, many people of the village accepted refuge of Sriji Maharaj. So they put on kanthi and started doing the good things and all those goodies. Thereafter, Sriji Maharaj returned to from Kundal. He came from Kundal. So he returned to Sarangpur back again. So he returned to Sarangpur and sat on a decorated cot on the veranda outside the north-facing rooms of Jivakachar's Darbar. He was dressed entirely on white clothes. At that time, Munis as well as devotees from various places had gathered before him. So now the second part of this Vachanamrut is of Sarangpur Vachanamrut. And there Bhagavan is talking. Thereupon Sriji Maharaj said, if one looks at the abodes of God, Golok, Vaikunth, Shvetdeep, Brahmpur, from a physical perspective, they appear to be very far away. From the physical perspective, those abodes are very far away. However, if one looks at the form of the Atma's perspective, they are not even an atom's distance away. From the soul consciousness, they are not even one atom's distance away. So it looks like a level of physical understanding and the spiritual understanding, And the scientists, they have analyzed the physical world, and they have analyzed the distant galaxies and distant planets and solar systems and all that. And they have figured out the speed at which something can travel, physical things, And they say that the highest speed, that is recorded which can be traveled is the speed of light, So speed of light is like 186,000 miles per second, And Einstein put that whole theory into the relativity theory, as the things that cannot travel faster than the speed of light, So that was his postulation, Before that, the theory of gravitation was, put forth by Newton, And Newton had his laws of gravitation, And they were working very nicely. But when Einstein came, and when he put these laws of relativity, then the laws of gravity were very primary thoughts, Very limited level of understanding was the gravitational laws. And if you expand that, then those gravitational laws were not holding the same truth. But Einstein's laws were holding the truth, which were the relativity thoughts, And in there, what Einstein was saying, that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light, And the one reason was that we cannot observe anything faster than the speed of light. Because if something is traveling faster than the speed of light, that thing is invisible to us. And there are certain, galaxies and certain things, they are traveling faster than the speed of light. And we have not been able to see them, Because when they say that there was a big explosion, everything exploded very close to the speed of light, The outer, particles were going at a faster speed. The inner were going slower and slower, But the outer particles, if one galaxy was formed and it was moving at the speed of light this way, and the other one was moving that way, and we are traveling on that galaxy, we would be seeing things going in this direction, but nothing on that direction. Also, they say that galaxies were not formed, right away. It was just the energy which was expanding. So we were expanding at very tremendous speed, but in the form of energy. And then after millions of years, we were forming the atoms, hydrogen and heliums and other things. And then even millions and millions of years later, the galaxies were formed, So those galaxies which were far away, if they were emitting that light, would not be coming to us because, we are moving farther away, at a higher speed, So it's very difficult, But they now think, that there are things, which are beyond our vision, which does not mean that they are not there. By logic, they are there. By vision, we cannot see them. But this is still physical world. But when we go to the other side of the soul level world, then the speed of light is like nothing, Speed of mind is faster than speed of light. And speed of soul is faster than even speed of mind, And in our scriptures, there are descriptions that our sadhus have gone to the different places and different abodes, Not by physical self, but by the, atmas, level. And they have traveled, So, Bhagavan is saying here, when you are on the atma level, then these Brahmans are not far away, They are within the distance of atom, They are very close, because now you are in the realm of Atma. It's a different level, It's a different whole phenomena. We can think, that about, 1,000 years ago or so, or, maybe 400 years ago, when that Columbus wanted to go to India, right? He did not know where India is located, He was just going the normal way, People were going through Africa and India, But that route was very long, So he said that if India is that way, we can go to India that way also, So he went the opposite direction, hoping to find India, right? And he found America, But now, going to India and America and any country is very easy, right? Because we have speed, of planes, aeroplanes. And, we have been able to, go and locate and find the places faster, physically. 400 years ago, it was very difficult, Going by boat, can you imagine how many months it would take, for them to travel? But that was the possible, way, They had another way, they would go by the, ground level also. But that would be even more difficult because they had to go to woods and jungles and animals and all that, They had no such protection at that time, They could get killed. While going on the ocean, at least they have protection, that they would be at least, semi-safe, If there is a storm and other thing, and then they are in trouble and they die also, But they had figured out which weather-wise, which months are good to travel, and that's how they would go, and do that. But now, we have gone beyond the speed of boat, beyond the speed of aeroplanes, and now the speed of rockets, And now, not only just traveling on the earth, we have traveled to moon and Mars and Jupiter and all the solar system. And now we have 2 Voyagers. They have traveled beyond the solar system also. And they say that they are going to go to the nearest star at the current speed, The Voyager 2 is faster than Voyager 1. And they are going in the opposite direction also, So the Voyager 1 had left earlier, like 4 years or so earlier, I think, than Voyager 2, I think, But Voyager 1 picked up the more speed by dragging behind the planets and getting higher and higher speed, has gone further distance than Voyager 1, So Voyager 2 is the leader Voyager, they say nowadays, And they say that it has left the solar system's, envelope, And outside of the solar system it is traveling. And it has very preliminary computers inside, Because you can imagine that was in 1970s, when that was, launched, The computers were not there, So, very small information, that we are gathering, If we would have computers information now and they would have left, would be very much different, But
that's going to keep on happening because the technology is going to keep on, if they were to do same thing now, 4 years later, by the time the new Voyager is wherever it is, the technology will change. But at least if they did it with this technology, it will be better a little bit than the one they had before.
And they were not hoping that this Voyager would go that fast, far with the batteries and other things they have inside. But they say that those batteries are still, sending signals, and they are getting information, But they say that the speed they are going, which is very fast speed, like 35,000 miles per hour, Can you imagine? In 1 hour, they would circle the whole earth, More than that, maybe. With that speed, they are going far away. The first nearest star, which is about 4 light years away. There are galaxies which are billions of light years away. The first nearest star is only 4 light years away. And light year is the light takes the time to travel at the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles per hour, miles per second. And if it takes 4 years for that light to travel, can you imagine this rocket, which is Voyager 2, would reach to that star how many years? They say 35,000 years. How much? 35,000 years.
Battery might not last that long.
That is how far the first star is, Can you imagine how far these galaxies are, And Bhagavan says, physically, the abode of God is beyond all these galaxies, This is within Maya, Prakriti Purush, right? And beyond that, And then even there, Samnath Bhagavan has put all these abodes of Devatas within Maya. Not only the Jeev Koti, but Ishwar Koti is also below Maya, And then Brahm Koti is beyond that, So, physically, I don't know how it can be possible to reach. Now, there are examples in our scriptures that Lord Krishna physically had gone to Bhumapurush abode, with Arjuna. Yeah, Vachanamritma આવે છે. But there is exception, Bhagavan has done it by his power, and his. To a abode called Bhuma Purush. There is one Vachanamrita. Right. એમના જે સંદીપની ગુરુ હતા, દીકરાનું મૃત્યુ થઈ ગયેલું.
But is that beyond this galaxy? That Bhuma Purush?
It is the second level abode, Physical abode is these galaxies and other things, our science is traveling. That is first level, જીવ કોટીનું. પછી ઈશ્વર કોટીનું અબોડ આવે, એની અંદર સ્વર્ગ આવે, એની અંદર ભૂમાપુરુષનું આવે, એની અંદર બ્રહ્માનો લોક આવે, પછી વૈકુંઠ લોક આવે, એ બધા લોક. And according to Vaishnava, they are also within the Maya, Prakriti and Purush,
They are staying ambi, but in the અંદર છે ઈશ્વર કોટીમાં છે એટલે મહાપુરુષ ગયા હોય તો they are there, એ કોટીમાં જતા.
But physically you cannot travel. Physically you cannot go to Bhuma Purush place. First, this star takes 36,000 years with the speed, રોકેટ સ્પીડથી તમે જાઓ તો 36,000 વર્ષ લાગે, તો પેલા જતા શું થાય? નહીં. This was happening also within the, the Swarg and the Prithvi and the Patal, Well, when you consider a war between Ram and Ravan, which was physical in Lanka, right? Or with, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, which was before that, that was physical, But in there are two levels of discussions, One is physical level, and then the other level is called the, Ishwar Koti's level description, Right. So, right. So, those Devatas, they are always in a Indralok and other thing is in a spiritual level, right? And Asurs are on the physical level, but their Guru Sukracharya was very powerful, that he could, take those Asur, to the higher level of, understanding, and can fight with Devatas, And it's,
Kakaji had, his samadhi. He talks about traveling to all these places. So this soul has that capacity to go that way.
by the power of Guru, yeah. By the grace of Guru, yeah. Some people can do it on their own also, by doing all this, yoga and other thing, Yeah.
Because the way Kakaji explained, right, like you said, there has to be that body that takes, once you become in that body, then it's not too far. With this body, it is too far. With all these, limitations that we have, the distance, all the other characteristics that go with this body. But once we are not talking about this, we're talking about the soul level, then all these other factors does not affect it. That light, speed of light, all that becomes irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why all the abodes which are so far away, because then the soul level mixes with that level, it becomes one. And then it's near to everything. Then those distances are eliminated.
Yeah. That is the experience of, one who is traveling with the soul consciousness, So Bhagavan is giving these two different descriptions, that if one looks at the abodes of God, Golok, Vaikut, Svetdip, Brahmpur, from a physical perspective, they appear to be very far away. However, if one looks at them from the Atma's perspective, they are not even an atom's distance away. Therefore, the understanding of one who views from the physical perspective is false. And the understanding of one who views from the perspective of the Atma is true. Indeed, God and the abode of God are not even an atom's distance away from a sadhu who believes God is forever present in my Chaitanya. And just like the Jeev resides in the body, God resides within my Jeev. My Jeev is the Sharir and God is the Shariri of the Jeev. Such a sadhu also believes that he is Jivatma, is distinct from the three bodies, Sthul, Sukshma and Karan, and that God forever resides within his Atma. Such a saint is like a Mukta of Shvetdip. When one has the darshan of such a sant, one should realize, I have had the darshan of God himself. Here we are getting close to the Arti time, but here Bhagavan is referring to Shvetdip. And in Swamini Vato, reference is that Ramanand Swami went to Shvetdip after he passed away. And Bhagavan is referring here a reference of Shvetdip with Ramanand Swami, So it says, I have had darshan of God himself. A sant who has such an understanding has nothing more to attain. And then the last paragraph Bhagavan says, if a person is unable to attain such an understanding, then he should maintain profound association with such a sant. If that sant were to daily beat him 5 times with a pair of shoes, he should still tolerate such insults. But just as an opium addict cannot abandon his addiction, in no way should he abandon saint's association, his association with such a saint. Such a person should be known to be equal to sant mentioned earlier. Moreover, whatever that sant attains, one who continues to profoundly associate with such a sant also attains. He flies with the sant, so he attains whatever sant flies, He attains whatever sant attains, And Bhagavan is giving the glory of a saint, in this paragraph, that one should keep the company of shoes. Even the sant will beat him with the pair of shoes, And it says 5 khasada, 5 times, And the number 5 has been, enlarged by saying, 5 Vartman Rupi khasada or 5 Niyam Rupi khasada, and so many varieties of ways, saints have, explained that, So, maybe we want to call, or people are already on the phone, right? So we can prepare for the Arati maybe. Then maybe after Arati, if somebody wants to have any question, we can talk on that.